Did the winter storm of 2026, which impacted most of the U.S., affect the NPGA board meetings? Not for most. Why? The propane industry is just too tough of an industry. Nothing stops us from coming together to further discuss how we can continue to move forward as an industry and learn as much as we can. So this is Brian.
And Brian.
Coming to you live from the beautiful M Hotel in Vegas, actually Henderson. What a beautiful hotel and venue. Well done again, Sam and Kristen and the NPGA staff. Awesome job, as usual. There are always many great takeaways from these NPGA board meetings. But just as important as the opportunities is the time to visit one-on-one with your peers and friends and just to get to know each other a little bit more. And we had so many great side meetings amidst of all the other meetings that happened that were just truly phenomenal. I learned so much more about a lot of different people here, and that's part of what this is all about too. What do you think, Bri?
Yeah, just being the first meeting of the year, really. The industry coming together here in January. It seemed like a lot of the focus in these meetings was on, where we are as an industry, just finishing 2025, going into 2026. Between member services, meeting, some of the breakout sessions with state and districts, really good updates on where we are going into the new year, and what's ahead and what we need to be focusing on. So, that definitely stood out to me with some of those updates for the industry. And one individual in particular, Cinch Munson from the World Liquid Gas Association, spoke also during the meeting, and really good overview of where we are on a global perspective, global scale. And as we all know, the U.S. market is now part of that global market more than ever before. And that continued emphasis on power generation stood out. Tucker Perkins from the Propane Education Research Council was here and spoke about, again, the emphasis on power generation. And, Tucker had some pretty bold statements too, talking about this being an unprecedented time in our industry with some of these opportunities. Tucker also talked about this really being a golden age for the industry with all the new opportunities out there. So every time we hear Tucker speak, we get encouraged as an industry and really motivated, I think, to see what else is out there down the road of the industry.
What a great speaker. As soon as Tucker gets up there, it's like he captures that room, right? Okay, guys, let's go. I love listening to Tucker. I had the opportunity to sit in the marketers section meeting, which provided a perk update, a fantastic supply interruption panel consisting of JD Buss from West Lark Advisors, Aaron Huizinga from Lakes Gas, Ben Nussdorf from NPGA, and Mark Porth from CHS. And this is a really important meeting because obviously supply is always a big issue no matter what in our industry. The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So it was very interesting discussing on the supply issues that face all the propane marketers. And it's just a plethora of knowledge that was presented. And they had a lot of different things to talk about. But one section they had was called, supply preparation. It seems so simple, but, it was a good cheat sheet that they had consisting of 5 different areas. One was demand, supply, logistics, storage, and customers. So what does that mean? So they had a little cheat sheet of different things to think about in each one of those sections. For instance, demand. What are my past gallon sales by month and by customer type? Then there's like 3 or 4 other things that fell under that category. Supply. Where does my supplier source propane? Is it pipeline, rail terminal, storage cavern? Logistics. What is my logistical flexibility 30 days out? Storage. Can I lease or sublease primary storage? And customers. Do my customers use prepaid or meter programs? So that's the type of stuff that they really dove into as part of this marketer section meeting, which was very important. It's very well attended because obviously everybody's dealing with the same supply issues, and there's always supply issues every year, and this year we had these issues. Next year it'll be different ones. It wouldn't be the same as this one. And they kind of laughed about that because it's just kind of the reality of things. So that being said, when you come to these meetings, these are the great things to talk about. How can we, how can they help? What's going on? What happened in this area? How do they counter that? So a lot of good back and forth on that. So I thought that was a very, very good, well-run session and very well attended, and a lot of back and forth. So pretty cool opportunity. Yeah. Those are the types of meetings that you'll get when you come to the board meetings.
Yeah, and Eric Sears from NPGA did a good job moderating that panel.
Yes.
So yeah, that definitely was very timely with obviously in January here, and then like Brian mentioned, just coming out here amid a large winter storm. Back home the industry is on the front line serving all their customers throughout these conditions, and that's what they do. So as you can see, there's really a lot that goes on at these meetings here at NPGA. Really just scratches the surface of what happened. And for more from these meetings, be sure to look at the next issue of LP Gas Magazine or visit lpgasmagazine.com. Definitely gives us a chance to really dive further into these topics and share some of the comments and the perspectives from the industry from these meetings.
Great, Brock. So NPGA board meetings, as always, truly impactful. We highly recommend you attend. Maybe you haven't attended in the past. Maybe you've taken a few years off. Come back. A lot of things we talk about helps your propane operation become the best that it can be. So not only does it do that, but it shows your support for the industry, because that's what our industry does, right? It just supports itself. I've never been in an industry like this before, where it truly is an industry that supports itself, and these are the types of things that pull it all together. So that being said, this is Brian.
And Brian.
And we're signing off from, again, beautiful M Resort here in Vegas. And we get to go home. We left Sunday with a foot of snow. So it's going to be interesting getting home, seeing what we got there. I heard it was like -4, so that's going to be cool. So until next time, everybody, until we meet down the propane path.
Take care.
Ooh, in unison. Oh.